Good morning. It is my privilege to welcome you to Beverly Vista Middle School. We are thrilled you have joined us today for the grand opening and ribbon cutting of the BulldogAid Wellness Center. Yay. My name is Dr. Kelly Scahn, and I am the principal of BVMS. Before we begin, I would like to invite Sanvi and Sharzad to come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Where are you ladies? Come on up. Yay! Good job.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please sit down.
Thank you, ladies. And I forgot to mention that those two young ladies are two of our BulldogAid Wellness Center peer counselors. So thank you, ladies, for being here this morning. Thank you for joining us and making the BulldogAid Wellness Center possible. For those of you who don't know what the BulldogAid Wellness Center is, I will share a little backstory. Our esteemed Board of Education has made safety our first priority with what BHUSD often refers to as a hard exterior and a soft interior at each school. The soft interior is supported by so many people and programs, but it is most epitomized by the dedicated mental health space at BHHS, the Norman Aid Wellness Center. The board, along with our BVMS staff and BVMS parent community, has championed the expansion of this program to our middle school. We initially established the BulldogAid Wellness Center in a dedicated space off of our library, but today we are here to witness that vision evolved into its own dedicated building. BVMS is one of the only middle schools in the nation with a mental health wellness center, nurturing students' mental health and unleashing their full potential. This confidential, safe environment is fully equipped to lay the groundwork for educational excellence. It is my honor and privilege to be a part of this. And now it brings me great pleasure to introduce our BHUSD Superintendent, Dr. Michael Briggy.
Thank you, Dr. Scahn, and I want to give some other thank yous to you. Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for trusting the educators. Just over 4 years ago, we cut a green ribbon in front of our school, and we reopened Beverly Vista to Beverly Vista Middle School. We know that this is a very special place. We also know that middle school students are unique. Middle school students, they learn differently, they think differently, they problem solve differently, they form attitudes, opinions differently. And so having a place that is a dedicated middle school and concentrated on teaching middle school students, it was incredibly important. Every decision that's been made here at Beverly Vista Middle School is deep-rooted in educational research. Every decision, and it continues to be. One of the pillars that we decided was most important for our school was the support that our students would get through our assistant principals at each grade level, and then also with our counselors. But middle school philosophy goes further than that. It is to have comprehensive counseling support available for students at any need. And so we put that into place, but the world changed, and kids need more support. And so this is in line with the middle school philosophy to have this type of support that's available for our students. So thank you for this support to our Board of Education to help us continue to destigmatize mental health and receiving support and services. For our students that are entering 6th grade to know that this type of support is available all the way through high school till they get to the Norman Aid Center is invaluable. and unique, and as Dr. Scarn said, not happening in any other school district that I'm aware of. And all of you had a piece in making this happen. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Brady. I would now like to introduce our BulldogAid Wellness Center lead counselor, who was one of the most incredible employees I've had the honor of working with. She has supported hundreds of students by growing this program over the last 2 years and will continue to do so in this brand new space. Please join me in welcoming Kristen Hartley.
Good morning, Bulldog community. I'm really overwhelmed with gratitude to see all of you who showed up to support the opening of our BulldogAid Wellness Center here at Beverly Vista Middle School. The idea of BulldogAid actually started long before we became a consolidated middle school. I'm going to give a shout out to Allie Franks, who worked really hard over the summer with, some of you may know, Celeste McDonald. Thank you. To create the BulldogAid framework. And so this project has been many years in the making, so I do want to start by thanking Allie for paving the way for BulldogAid to even exist. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank a handful of advocates who have supported this program and this project from the very beginning. So Dr. Scon, I want to thank you for just tirelessly supporting me in this crazy idea of taking a BulldogAid Wellness Center to where it is now. The BVMS PTA, you have graciously funded the startup of this project to ensure that students have a cozy and comfortable place to come to since we opened our doors last year. Thank you to our amazing board who were integral in bringing this vision and this building to our campus. To Dr. Brady and Rebecca Starkins for their ongoing support, for putting on this amazing event. Rebecca, you have put so much time and love into this, and for that, I am so thankful. To BHEF, who is generously funding and supporting our programming, allowing us to expand and explore new wellness opportunities in years to come. And lastly, I really want to give a big thank you to our BVMS teachers and our BVMS staff. Thank you for your willingness. Yes. Thank you for your willingness to send kids in need and for your ongoing support of the program. I'm very honored to be part of this new and permanent representation of student mental well-being and mental health, and I'm really looking forward to continuing to bring forth mental health education and support opportunities for, on here I have written our BVMS community, but I kind of want to say for our entire BHUSD community. So thank you guys so much.
Next, I would like to, wait, hang on, let me see if I'm in the right spot. Yes, all right, thank you, Kristen. Next, I would like to welcome a former Bulldog who is now a senior at BHHS and a Norman Aid Wellness Center peer counselor. She will share a bit of her journey and passion for mental wellness. Please welcome Sophia Manavi.
Good morning. My name is Sophia Manavi, and I'm a senior at BHHS and a lead peer counselor. I've been in BHUSD since preschool, starting at Hawthorne and then moving to Beverly Vista Middle School when it first became a middle school. At the end of my 8th grade year was when the pandemic hit, so I never actually got to graduate as a class together. But I spent my 9th grade year in the pandemic learning from home, and when I was in 10th grade, I finally got to be a BHHS student on campus. The impact the pandemic had on the mental health around the world is undeniable. However, the need for mental health support starts from our earliest years. At the high school, when I was in dance, I was shown the Norman Aid Mental Health monthly podcasts, and when I was struggling with some mental health issues, I knew where I could turn from some extra support because I'd seen the videos from the monthly Norman Aid Wellness Center. The center not only provides support and counseling, but it also educates and breaks the stigma around mental health. The impact the Norman Aid Wellness Center had on my life is incredible. My passion for mental health has led me to become a peer counselor at Norman Aid, and being a peer counselor has taught me so much, from learning how to support others and just everything about mental health. It's even led me to consider a future in psychology. I can only wish that during the hardest years of middle school, I had a center to visit for resources and support. Because let's be honest, middle school drama is not a joke. Breaking the mental health stigma starts from a young age. So not only is it great for the middle school, but I also am very excited that when our kids get to the high school, they'll really be able to take advantage of all the resources they have at the high school. So in conclusion, I want to encourage all students who are just needing something as a simple few minutes to hang out to come to the BulldogAid Wellness Center, because you never know, it might even change your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. It is such a pleasure to hear the true impact that BulldogAid will continue to have on our students. This support is made possible by many people in our immediate BHUS community, as well as the wider Beverly Hills community. The leaders of our wonderful city have continued their support for us in so many ways, and today is no exception. Please join me in welcoming our mayor of Beverly Hills, Dr. Julian Gold.
Well, thank you. It's great to see you all. It's great to see our school board. I'm here with Councilmember Lily Bosley and Councilmember Sharona Nazarian. And we're very pleased to represent the city. I'm going to take a moment and just, you are at the tip of the spear. We've entered a different time. I've said this before, you may have heard it, but in the 1960s, our job was to cure heart disease. We had all these middle-aged and older folks who were dying of heart disease. And we set out to cure heart disease. And the good news is we did a pretty good job. We cured a lot of heart disease. But it was actually in the 70s and the early 80s that we realized we shouldn't be curing heart disease. We should be preventing heart disease. And with that, we began campaigns for obesity, exercise, lifestyle, diet, anti-smoking, and guess what? We prevent heart disease. Mental wellness, mental health, I think, is in that same space today. We spent some time talking about curing mental illness, and Lord knows, for those who need it, we need to be in a place where we can cure mental illness. But this is the dawn of the time where we should be talking about preventing mental illness and talking about mental wellness. And that actually begins with you, the tip of the spear. This begins with students, young people. And it begins with an education that says it's okay to say, I don't feel mentally well today. I feel unhappy. I feel sad. I feel depressed. No different than my tummy aches or I have a headache. It's okay. And we have to find ways to treat that, to deal with that. And some of that will be through talk, and some of that may be through other things. But this is what you have created. You have actually created the beginning of that movement. Not only have you unveiled the fact that mental wellness is okay to talk about, and there's no stigma to mental illness because people get sick, well, we've created a place here where you can actually come and try to get well. We will help you get well. And as you said, there are very few places like that anywhere nearby. So I applaud you for that. I really do. I will tell you that just for myself, the conversation about mental wellness, and I probably would not have said this 5 years ago. In this time, since the pandemic, and for all that's happening today, I don't feel mentally well. I can say that. I'm pained, I hurt, I'm sad. Some days I'm depressed. I'm surrounded by people who help me through that. But by allowing me to say that, and for the community to do that, I think we help each other. So I thank you for that. I thank you for this. I think we're hopefully on a road that will see prevention of mental disease, and I think you've done an amazing job. From the city's point of view, we're thrilled to be your partners in this. We look forward to seeing you do more great things. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Gold. This next speaker represents a group of people without whom we couldn't succeed, our BVMS parents. Your financial support of the BulldogAid Center is nothing short of remarkable. And the hours you spend volunteering for our school are endless. I am so grateful to all of you, and now invite our BVMS PTA President, Jen Pedersen, to the stage.
Thank you. Thank you for having us, and thank you for bringing this wonderful program to our school. 2 years ago, under my predecessors, Kim Hartley and Nathan Kruger, who are here, our board was presented with a grant proposal by Ms. Hartley for a wellness center that would more closely align with and modeled after the high school's Norman Aid Wellness Center. Thank you to Dr. Scahn and to Kristen Hartley for having the vision and pushing the idea and giving PTA the opportunity to partner in this, bringing this very important space to our school. Thank you to the district and to the Board of Education for seeing the value in and supporting the construction of this standalone building here behind me, and to our annual fund donors who make awarding grants like this possible. It's innovative programs like this, like Dr. Breggy mentioned, like this BulldogAid Center, that reinforce the mission behind our dedicated middle school, right? As 4 separate middle schools, nothing like this would be possible. So we thank you and everybody for the vision of having this dedicated middle school, and BVMS PTA remains committed to supporting the mental health of our students now and into the future.
Let's see. All right, thank you, Jen, and thank you to our parents. Up next, I would like to welcome our next speaker, who most fittingly was awarded the Embrace Civility Award at the City Council meeting last night. Congratulations. She represents another incredible financial supporter of our BulldogAid Center. Thank you, Beverly Hills Education Foundation, and all of your donors. Please welcome BHEF President Tina Wiener.
Thank you, Dr. Scahn, for that very nice shout out. This is such an important day for BVMS. I want to congratulate Kim Hartley and Nathan Kruger and their PTA team who had the vision for this. And thank BVMS PTA, Dr. Scahn, the BHUSD leadership team, and the BHUSD board for making this happen. Supporting social-emotional health is the most important thing that we can do for our students. We've seen the success and the importance of Norman Aid Center and how many students that has helped. And it's so exciting right now to have a sister program that's starting up here at BVMS. The BulldogAid Center will provide these students with a safe place to go when they need a break or when they just need to find someone to talk to. And I saw all those really cool beanbag chairs in there, so I could just see them reclining and just collecting themselves. So thank you for creating this safe space. I wish that this was here when my child was a student at BVMS, because truly, as was mentioned, middle school drama is no joke. And so to be providing this is tremendous. BHEF is so proud also to be providing support for this new venture. We appreciate that we can take part in innovative new programming that the district is providing. And so I want you to know that this donation that we're making is also made possible through our community donors and through a grant that BHEF receives from the city of Beverly Hills. We receive a community assisted, through the Community Assisted Grant Fund, we receive funds to be able to support mental, emotional health for youth and also for the arts. And so we are so grateful to be partners with you, City of Beverly Hills and BHUSD, in making this happen. So thank you. I just want you to know that, as Jen mentioned, you can continue to provide support through the PTA. We're also inviting anyone here today to be wellness heroes and to donate directly to the Bulldog Wellness Aid Center through BHEF to help to foster a new culture of BVMS wellness. And if the donations are targeted, they're all going to come straight back to the BulldogAid Center. So be an inaugural donor and be a part of the success of this program. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tina. Up next, I would like to welcome two people who enabled this beautiful building to be built. Our Assistant Superintendent of Business Services, Mr. Rafael Guzman, and Executive Director of Construction Services, Mr. Will Karat.
All right. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to see everyone here today, from our Board of Education to our city council members, our mayors here, and all of our wonderful staff and our cabinet team as well. Just thanks, everyone, for coming out. I wanted to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who made this a reality. This is such a wonderful building, and honestly, when I look at this facility behind me, I don't see just a building. I see a testament to the commitment of our board, our superintendent, and our staff towards the physical and mental well-being of our students. That's what I see. It's not just a building. And it's incredible. And I'm so happy to be part of it, of all the work that was done and the collaboration that existed for this to happen. It was truly a collaborative moment. I remember talking to Dr. Breggy, and I'm thankful for his leadership for making this happen. I remember sitting down with him and giving us all these ideas, and he had all these wonderful ideas, and I had the good idea of just writing them all down and making them happen. And so I'm just so thankful for his leadership and all of our cabinet, Mr. Seaman and Ms. Collins-Williams, Dr. Horvath, everyone else. It's been tremendous for this to happen. And again, I just wanted to say a special thanks to also our Founder Solari team, who's here today, and their work. They did tremendous work here, and of course, Mr. Will Karat, who is our Executive Director of Construction. It's just been a wonderful collaboration, and I think this building just shows the collaboration that exists and all of the wonderful accomplishments we're making in construction. If you look to your left there, you'll see also some diagrams or some renderings of some of our future exciting projects that are coming very soon. And so we're excited about those as well. But today's about the Wellness Center. And again, we're just so thankful for the opportunity. And now I'll turn it over to Mr. Will Karat.
Good morning. Raphael kind of stole my thunder on mostly everything I wanted to say. But I do want to say from when I first got here, Kristen's image was already kind of embedded in the board, and in order for us to make this happen, it took a lot of support from our superintendent and our board to get this done and done on time. It was a tremendous effort just to get this building literally carried up over this fence and the trees and to be placed here, and we couldn't have done that without all your support. I also want to thank our founder Solari team, especially Adam Wentworth, who helped us. It was our boots on the ground here as we were getting this work finalized and ready for opening and our ribbon cutting today. So thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. As I mentioned at the beginning, our Board of Education has led the charge in championing the importance of mental wellness. It is now my honor to introduce Board of Education Clerk, Mrs. Mary Wells.
Good morning, everyone. It's really a pleasure to be here, and it's such a delight for me to hear everybody speaking about how collaborative and how effective the work has been done to get this building here. And it's just, I think that we can all enjoy how wonderful our BHUSD community is. So I want to thank each and every one of you, and as well as our city partners, because it makes me really proud to be standing here today. And I can say, as a longtime advocate for mental health and wellness, it's so incredibly gratifying for me to see the BulldogAid program go from being a small space inside to this dedicated building. And I think that, as someone has already said, what it really does is it sends a message that for us, mental health and wellness matters. And, for me personally, I lost my husband to suicide when my daughter was just 3. So I really did not have a really great grasp on mental health and wellness and identifying signs. And so I really have an appreciation for how this education needs to start earlier, and that we need to destigmatize talking about mental health. If not before, certainly during COVID and its aftermath, we've identified that, like adults, that our students have issues and struggle with mental health, and that it has an impact on their ability to learn and to thrive. The BulldogAid program helps to normalize those conversations around mental health, and it starts that very much needed dialogue. The program not only offers a language, it provides tools for our students so that they can take better care of themselves and that they can support each other. And also, importantly, it provides a place for our students to go when they really feel like they're struggling. There's a place where they can find the support. And we know that when students are struggling, they can feel very isolated and alone. But what they learn here is that they don't have to face those struggles by themselves. And ultimately, that's what helps to keep our students safe. I think that given the recent events in the world and the alarming rise in anti-Semitism, that the timing of this opening could not be better. And I'm really, truly grateful to all of you, because I feel like we are ready and we are able to serve our students and our community and our staff. So thank you all very much. I'm so, so grateful.
Thank you, Mrs. Wells. As a school psychologist, our next board member knows all too well the importance of supporting our students emotionally in order for them to succeed academically. Please join me in welcoming Board of Education Vice President, Dr. Amanda Stern.
Good morning. I want to piggyback from what Dr. Mayer, Julian Gold, has said. And it is so true that in the 80s, one of the things we had to deal with was heart disease and working with that. Those were different times. And now I think back to my own early years, and I remember when I watched TV, one of the things that would go around as an advisory for children was, don't drown your food. I say that because when you look at that problem now and you realize just how small that was compared to the problems that now we have to deal with and how we advise children, sadly, we might say to children, don't cut yourself when you're feeling upset. So we've gone from school rock, or what was it, rock school? I can't remember that. Schoolhouse rock, thank you. To things like don't drown your food, make sure you turn off lights, to now, sadly, don't cut yourself when you're upset, or don't post something that you want to hurt someone or someone else, or yourself. I want to take you through a very brief exercise in mental wellness, because as we go through these times, we are now learning preventative strategies so that we don't get to a crisis point where children have to be hospitalized or they have to come to this place without first thinking about ways that we can maintain mental wellness. So I want you all to smell the roses. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Breathe in and blow out the candles. All right, one more time. Smell the roses. Blow out the candles. That's just one of many exercises that schools across the country are now doing with children, and it is called social emotional wellness. And it is a curriculum that is vital, and it is a new era in which children need to know about these things. How many of you have heard of the small town called Manteca, California? Okay. I heard about it this morning as I was talking to members of Fonder Solari, and we were talking about the amazing feat of building something which is beautiful but also cost-effective, and apparently was prefabricated in this small town called Manteca, and then it was delivered here in August. And that's an incredible thing, just incredible amount of resourcefulness in industry that it was constructed in this manner. When I ran to be on the school board, it was during an especially low time for our children, and that was during COVID. And I was really happy to come on board because my platform was and continues to be mental health and emotional wellness for our children. I was one of those seniors in high school in 1989 who actually tried Prozac, and it did wonders for me, and it really turned around a lot of problems and issues I had, but I soon learned that neurochemistry is only one part of the equation, and there are most certainly skills and interventions and social networks that really form a foundation to keep us all well. So it's a very complex dance when we think about mental wellness among children, but I am so pleased that in fact we are one of the only middle schools in such a small district that has its own dedicated space for mental wellness. The last thing I want to say is just a little bit about children and the nature of our middle schoolers. Indeed, middle schoolers are their own unique animal, and they can be animals. One thing we don't realize is that when we think of disability, we think about what we can see physically, right? We might see a child who's in a wheelchair, or we might see a child or hear a child who speaks differently, and we say, perhaps they have a disability. But we must remember that there are children who have a disability, whether it's that they cannot have impulse control, and they're not being defiant, they just can't control themselves in many ways, or it's harder for them. Or they wake up every morning and they feel deeply ashamed and sad and guilty, and they don't know why, and it's neurochemical. And that is also a disability, and I want us all to know that disabilities can be invisible. Finally, you could also argue that developmentally, a lot of adolescents do crazy things because, in fact, this part of their brain is not, as we all know, the frontal cortex is not formed until they're about 25. So while we don't want to excuse bad behavior or dismiss children from being sad or impulsive, we must understand that there is something going on that isn't quite developed. And so I'm really happy that there is a center and a space that welcomes children who are having various behavioral, social, emotional challenges. I'm very grateful to Fonder Solari. I'm grateful to the board. I'm grateful to the administrators, everyone here at BVMS and the counselors, and I only see a very bright future as we deal with these new times. Thank you so much.
Starts at 9:30, but to conclude our grand opening this morning with the official ribbon cutting, I would like to invite to the stage Board of Education President, Mr. Noah Margot.
Thank you. This just in. I have to stall until the sun moves just right for our ribbon cutting part. So they said like that. Couple of things. I also want to welcome, we have a couple of representatives from the city's Human Relations Commission. We would be remiss because that's directly related to all of this social emotional wellness. Our very own Pam Kraushauer and Vice Commissioner, Vice Chair Laura Margot. Thank you for joining us. And I've just seen Mr. Michael LeBeau is here, and thank you for your amazing support for our district and all of these programs. One last comment. I have a pair of jeans on today that have a tear in them, and I wore those on purpose because it's to show on the outside that we're all a little torn, and we can always use a little mending. So there's a student somewhere who is feeling undue pressure to get straight A's. There's another student who perhaps has lost their identity or never really quite knew who they were. There are students who go to bed every night crying because of a situation at home or a situation at school. But these students have something in common. They come to school, they go to class, they do their homework, and they suffer in silence. But this space, this beautiful little box of a brain hug, is for them. We all knew that we had been anchored in a pit of worldwide mental health crisis since 2020. We saw the effects that that year had had on our students. But perhaps even worse, we began recognizing the growing threat that social media piled on top of an already fragile generation. I remember making an offhanded comment at a past board meeting, and following that meeting, I received this email from Kristen. Hi, Noah. Just wanted to extend my gratitude for bringing up BulldogAid at the meeting last night. I have been trying to advocate for more access to facilities and support for the middle school, so you simply mentioning it brings visibility. I'm very appreciative. If you have any ideas around what I can further do to advocate, I'd love to hear them. The meeting that Kristen referenced was held on November 9th, 2021, almost 2 years to the day. And here we are. With a mission of educational excellence, we must be cognizant of our students' holistic well-beings. More simply, the more content the student, the better the learner. So I can hope that one day this wellness center can become something else. Maybe the meeting room for the future National Merit Scholars Club. Maybe a green room for our award-winning performing arts program. But until then, like Disney kind of said, to all those who come to this place, welcome. Now I'd like to call up for the ribbon, the board, and Dr. Scott, Dr. Breggy, and Kristen. Please join us. Let's cut this thing.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness